stupid sewer. Stack the gouda, mind your business, eat the cooter.
Oh my gosh, find out who Russell Simmons is suing for $20 million and why. And would you take relationship advice from Amy Robach and TJ Holmes? They think you will. We'll explain that.
And joining us tonight, she's moved from behind the camera to up front as an influencer and so much more. Markisha Steele is in the building. Hey.
Hello, hello, hello. Thank you guys for having me. I'm excited to be here, you know, looking forward to hanging out with y'all.
Hey, we excited to have you, man.
Welcome to Side Dish.
Hey, you know, I like to play a guessing game with myself, like which version of Tanner's picture will show today.
Get long hair, short hair tees.
Yeah, I guessed it wrong today. But yo, here at Side Dish, we're more than an appetizer when it comes to pop culture and fun. We are the whole meal.
Oh my gosh, guys, you know what today is. We got some 48-hour Friday. It's the last 24 of the 48.
Yeah.
But we're there. The weekend is here.
Kick
Markisha,
off.
how are you doing?
I'm great. I'm over here kicking it with you two sweethearts, you know, getting to, you know, have some fun. How y'all doing?
Thank you. I missed the green note. I didn't get the green note.
I know. You know what? We got to get you on our same wave, Tanner. You know, catch the color
Well,
flavor.
there are pops of green in your shirt
There's
on
little
the
bits,
leaves.
yeah, I got some.
Mine's is more like an
Right.
aqua, but like you like dominant, prominent green.
I know, right?
Like,
Start us off.
Yeah,
you
bank
know.
manager.
PJ Masters green.
Yeah, like you won the
like
whole
that.
tournament.
I'm working on my Tiger Woods.
No, and low key, she nice at golf, man. She be smacking them out of there.
We ain't doing no par fours and getting no birdies, but you know, I make the limits. I make the
Niggas do what
limits.
they do, you know? Great addition to a putt-putt team as well, you know what I'm saying? Invite everybody. Anyway, it's time for some Feed Me, and I'm gonna say, let's watch this answer given to Steve Harvey on Family Feud.
Name a word that rhymes with yummy.
Miami.
That's how he says it.
Yeah.
Welcome to Miami. Welcome to Miami. It rhymes with yummy. Come on. Your ass finna be on YouTube.
You know, shout out to people with the regional dialects, man.
Swear,
Because that's the right
swear.
answer in certain parts of the world.
What rhymes with dough? Faux.
Right, exactly, yeah. Pedro there was strong and confident in Miami.
Swear. Swear.
And it did rhyme coming out of his mouth.
It did.
Yeah.
It did. His dialect definitely made it work. And it was like, not quite, but we're going to give it to you.
Yeah.
If this was any other show and you didn't poll a whole bunch of people and have like locked in answers, there's definitely been one of them times to stop down. We're gonna talk to the judges.
Yeah.
No,
yeah,
seriously.
Yeah.
Answers accepted. No, for real.
Like, what's a word that you guys say that's like so like mangled and off than the way that other people say it to where like, okay, yeah, this would fly.
Oh, let me think.
Okay, so
that-
it's not my word. Mommy, I love you. She has a problem saying S words. So she say like specific, she say like specifically, like it's just weird. And I be like, I get what you meant, girl. Go ahead, I'll pass it.
Okay. There's always a big debate. Like, how do you say the word that describes those things that come in a box that allow you to color?
What things in the box?
Crayons?
Oh, crayon. It was like crayon or crayons.
Oh, crayons of crayons?
Yeah,
Yo, when people say crayon,
that's not it.
I'd be like, yo, deport this person.
Cranberry juice.
Yeah,
Cranberry? No way.
Because I'm definitely crayon. Like,
Yeah.
That's how you heard it. Even teachers say that. So you telling us the teachers in the education system are wrong?
a box of crayons.
Crayons.
But
Crayons.
also, too, the pronunciation of like aunt and aunt, even though it's the same word. And earlier today, I saw the word Antarctica, and I'd be like, how come no one says Antarctica?
Oh, that's good.
But that's like red and red. Like
Red
red
and
and
red.
read.
Yes,
yeah,
that's
so
right,
it's like, it's kind of like, it depends on the way and the context that the word is being used. So it tricks you up there a little bit.
Yeah, aunt and aunt is like, that's a beautiful one right there.
Because it's a strong choice when you decide which one you want to say. It's
Swear.
like sometimes
We commit at 5 years old and it never changes.
No swear. But isn't that kind of like tomato, or
A little bit,
potato,
yeah.
potato? It's just kind of like
But have you legit ran into a person that says tomato?
tomato. it might depend. It's like, nah.
Yeah.
It's like you got to decide which way it's going to go.
Which word are y'all willing to die on a hill in the chat? Let us know, man. We'll reply later.
We'll come back around to that. All right, with all the puffy news, we haven't heard much about another rap mogul that has legal issues. I'm talking about Russell Simmons. Well, Russell is suing HBO and the filmmakers of the 2020 documentary On the Record for $20 million. Russell says the filmmakers of the documentary detailing sexual misconduct allegations against him suppressed evidence that refuted the accuser's claims.
Now, Russell cites how former executive producer of the film Oprah Winfrey left the project after publicly noting inconsistencies in the accusations and claims that news outlets declined to publish defamatory content. But Oprah told reporters at the time that Simmons had pressured her to abandon the project and that she still believed the women at the center of the film. Drew Dixon is her name. Well, a Warner Brothers spokesperson said that they are standing by the filmmakers and will vigorously defend themselves against these unfounded allegations. So how y'all think this is going to play out for Russell?
You did it. I mean, you did it. But I'm confused. Allegedly, you know, let's put our air quotations. Allegedly, you did it. So he bullied Oprah into not doing the project?
Who has bully Oprah?
Seriously.
Who has bully Oprah abilities?
Nobody. Statman?
You know?
Statman.
Okay. Our producer Arlene just added a little context in our ears. This is around the time that the Michael Jackson documentary came out. And I remember after that came out, people felt a certain way, but then people also immediately began attacking that documentary. I remember that was the whole thing. And so, like, I'm not surprised that there are two sides of the discussion.
Absolutely.
Where someone, you know, because documentary producers are trying to get that soundbite, trying to get that thing, and they have a narrative that they're trying to tell because they know what's going to sell.
Absolutely.
And it's slightly complicated narrative never sells.
Never.
Yeah.
No. People want it to be simple. They want to be able to understand and be like, yep, that's right. Because you got to think, at that time, Russell Simmons was, you know, Run DMC, you know, so he still had that like clout and that ability. So to see his images taken. Well, yes.
Yeah, like
he's an individual.
Well, no. He made Run was his brother.
Run.
Yes.
Russell was over Def Jam.
Correct. He managed it.
Yeah, like for a period of time. Yeah.
But yeah, it's like, you know, unfortunately, people have to understand, like, what's done in the dark, it's going to always come to light. So, you know, don't be out here bullying Oprah. And, you know, I mean, sometimes just own it. You in Bali anyway.
That's the thing that's so strange to me, Markisha, is like, he's in Bali, and he's in Bali specifically to avoid extradition. Yeah, to avoid that and avoid a potential legal situation here in the United States, right?
Exactly.
That's the reason that he's in Bali. We all know this.
Yeah.
So if you're willing to leave the country on account of, I don't want any of this mess, why are you willing to sue over I don't want any of this mess?
Because I feel like strategically they're going to make you come here to get the check.
Oh, absolutely.
yeah.
And it's going to be handcuffed to something.
Absolutely.
Yeah, as a matter of fact, Russell, you just won the case. We just need someone to show up and sign it in your name, and we'll hand it right over.
We'll take a picture of you
Hand
holding
you
the big
some
check.
cuts.
You know, like
Swear, attached to a police officer, like, I didn't do it.
Yeah. The last thing I would do if I was trying to let something die down is sue over it.
Absolutely.
I mean,
Absolutely.
unless you really felt like in your heart of hearts you didn't do what they said you did. And I mean, the thing is, I read every like every book
Article.
that Russell wrote and people wrote about Russell from around those times. And you got to think, early 80s going into the 90s, cats is on a cornucopia of drugs, right?
Absolutely.
Like, I remember there was a story about he met Slick Rick in an Angel Dust detox place. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So I wouldn't be surprised if there's pockets of your life and times and the things that you did that you don't remember because you were out of your mind.
You was definitely beaming up to Scotty.
Yeah. So that's what they used to go and tell you.
Beaming up to Scotty, okay?
Man.
Actress Zosa Rockmore stopped by the Lovers by Shan podcast, and Shan asked if she would tell her daughter about how her relationship of almost 2 decades with her ex, Lakeith Stanfield, who allegedly left Zosa shortly after she had their baby, for another lady that got that woman pregnant and married her instead of Zosa. Here's what Zosa said she would tell her daughter.
Is your relationship with your daughter's dad and the sexual relationship there one that you would want to tell her about?
No.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Sure. This was the part that made me nervous about coming on. I think because that relationship was my last relationship and my biggest and my longest, and because of the nature of it, there's only so much I can say without it being complete salacious tea.
Right.
But yeah, I loved him, so I definitely would want her to know that.
Yes.
Yeah, that I loved him, and I would want her to know that don't ever love anyone more than you love yourself, and don't betray yourself for the love or acceptance or company, or don't betray yourself to keep someone in your life, or to try to have them there. They're going to be who they're going to be, and you be who you're going to be. So like, yeah, I think there's parts of it that I think I could tell her about. But yeah, we loved each other a lot, and it was passionate, and there was chemistry, and we had so much fun. Yeah, and I think that will be about all I would tell her.
Wow.
That's deep. I like what she said. The question did kind of throw me off, like the sexual chemistry. Why would I tell my daughter how I got down and dirty jiggy with your daddy? Why would I tell her that?
Sometimes I never know what young girls talk to their moms about. You know what I'm saying?
So
in the overall scope of things.
for context, in case you don't know, that the woman whose podcast is, her name is Shan Boudreau, and she is sort of a sex therapist of sorts. That is like her whole MO. So I'm not super surprised by the question.
I'm not surprised because I've seen her podcast too, but when relating it towards the child, that's the part that kind of threw me off.
Yes.
But you can definitely tell she's still in love with him, or she still has love there because of the pause and how she had to think about it. But I agree with what she said. Like, okay, I'm going to tell her that it was passionate, it was fun, that we did love each other. But you can tell she's still processing that hurt, dealing with that hurt, because we've been together for 2 decades. I got your baby, and you go jump and marry the next one, and what?
Yo, and there's definitely like levels to this, because like if that was Cardi B in that seat, you would have got a different level of answers back. And they didn't even have 2 decades in. They had like maybe
8 years
maximum, right?
Taking your knees out.
So she took the high road, and I know that's not always the easiest thing to do when you're trying to save your face as well, and also protect the father of your daughter. And and sometimes you do gotta like save the venom from the public and smoke them when you get up. See, I could have had your ass. You know what I'm saying?
That's the thing that's so interesting to me about her response is she took that minute. She took that beat to sort of like process and collect herself. Because the first thing she was like, I can't say too much because it will come out of salacious tea. That's how she feels.
Yep.
But then like the sort of measured response about like, I loved him. There was love there. Never compromise yourself for someone else to stay in your life. That's beautiful and wonderful advice. I would think that, like every child. Shoot, everybody needs to hear stuff like that.
You need to hear that, Tanner?
Yeah, I think.
Don't love yourself. Love yourself more than someone else.
Thank you.
But that is a definite trait of women. When we love hard, and we can tend to do that. Put someone before us. But yeah, definitely choose yourself, because unfortunately, you don't want it to come out like that. Only who knows what's going to happen. But yeah, definitely, she's like she said, salacious tea, because you're going to turn anything. She changed this and said this and that. And it's like, wait a minute. No.
Yeah, women do love hard, but when they hate 5% harder than they love.
Because y'all make us hate y'all. We don't ask y'all.
It's all our fault.
Y'all give it to us like presents, and we just have to unwrap it for y'all. But don't make us have to show you who we really are. We don't want to show that side. We want to just love and be birds and be free.
When you said that.
Yeah, we need to slow
don't do that. Because
the more you know.
I'm nice. Yeah. I'm a sweet person. But don't make us mad.
Lakeith has his own version of the whole thing, too.
Very true.
There's no doubt about it.
There are definitely 3 versions.
Yeah.
His version, her version, and then what actually happened.
Yeah, true story.
I would love to hear his version, but as his character from Atlanta.
Good one.
Well, speaking of his version and her version and what actually happened, TJ Holmes and Amy Robach understand what it is for love to be messy. The former co-hosts who had an affair lost their jobs and left their spouses for each other. I don't know if you guys remember that. There's the quick, update there. They're still together after 2 years, and they recently revealed that they're moving in together. Now they want to help you. Now they want to help you address relationship obstacles in Ask Amy and TJ, which is a new relationship weekly advice column from Yahoo, debuting on June 9th. In this weekly series, the pair is going to take on your relationship questions, no matter how complicated, bizarre, or intimate. Would you guys take advice from TJ and Amy?
No.
No?
You're both married. You both decide to cheat with each other, which, you know, I guess that's kind of a thing going around now, you know, like work affairs or whatever. And then you two are together. But wait, they got divorced, but aren't their spouses now together?
They were at one point for sure, yeah.
Like, what kind of, y'all are confused. Find love where you find it, but that's too close to home for me. That's too messy, because what do you really know about love? But outside of your perspective.
Have you ever seen a car, you ever had a car, but then you saw a car you wanted more?
I mean, yeah, normally I would trade in that car, meaning I no longer have that car.
That's kind of what they did. They traded in their people.
But
after they still had each other.
Yeah, here's the thing is, like, it is one thing to decide, you know what, I don't love this car the way that I used to love this car, and I would like a brand new car. But if I'm still if the other car is still in my garage and I'm sneaking out driving the other car, my first car has the right to feel a certain way about that.
Absolutely.
But Markisha, let me push back you on this. Like, I think about it like this. Like, okay, if you're going to take advice from somebody, right? Do you want to take advice from somebody who, let's say, I'm just going to switch the subject just slightly. Let's say it's a carpenter, and they built one set of cabinets one time, and it looks really good and it has stood the test of time? Or do you want to take advice from a carpenter who's made a lot of mistakes and has made some good cabinets since then?
I'm going to go with the mistake carpenter.
I think there's something...
Definitely go with the mistakes.
I think there's something for people who perhaps have, like, lived an experience that a lot of people haven't. You know, now you still have to measure the advice you take from them, because they're like, cheat on your spouse. That's terrible advice.
Correct.
But they've been through that and they've learned something.
And you got two people who legit risked everything they had on their relationship. They risked their peace and sanity at home.
Oh, yeah.
Because I'm sure that was a very uncomfortable conversation to have with both of their spouses. And I don't know if they had to have that conversation or if the tabloids got to them first.
True.
And then also it costed them their job and livelihood, but they said, we don't care. We're gonna ride this relationship out. Most people thought they wouldn't make it this far. They still here.
Normally, though, you got to think, is it the fact that, because a lot of people, when they do things, you don't intend to get caught, or you don't intend for it to last long. And I think the reason why I said no is because, let's be honest, everybody, not me, I don't cheat, but everybody cheats on each other, not you guys either.
Yeah, right.
So majority of the time, let's just foreshadow. They're going to ask questions about cheating. What honest advice can you give to me that I can take from you? Because you have cheated on your spouse. You didn't take the high road and say, hey, are we really going to do this? Okay, cool. We need to now have that conversation with our partners and our spouse and then go that route. So that is why. So I wouldn't mind taking advice from someone who has married, divorced, married, divorced, but you cheated. So that meant you're just, no. I would consider the message and dissect parts of it.
Take what applies to you.
Yeah, take what applies.
Because there is a mile marker where it gets ridiculous. Like, I would take advice from a person who's failed in relationships. However, if Liz Taylor was still alive, I would not take advice from her because apparently she didn't get it. Because I think she got married, like, what, 7 times?
7 times.
But hey, I cannot help. I am the woman of value, and all of these men are falling in love with me, and they're offering me to have their last name. I accept. You can't fault her.
Wait, so hold on a second. If you can't fault Elizabeth Taylor in 7...
7's a lucky number.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Apparently, her shopping cart had a bad wheel.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like
6 of them before that.
Yeah, like 7 people it didn't work out with. I think 1 died on the job.
Yeah.
One did die on the job for sure. I don't mind taking advice from people who've been through the gutters. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like if it's advice about, like, I mean, I don't know. If you're getting wrapped up in the legal system or potentially involved in some crimes, you can take advice from someone who's ever had their foot in the legal system and they've avoided it altogether, or someone who's been on the other side of it and they're like, oh, listen, you don't want to mess around with this, and I'll tell you why. Yeah. You know.
No, that's definitely true. Yeah. Well, Georgia, no washing hands. So on Bravo's Next Gen NYC, which includes children of Bravo stars, along with other New York-based individuals, Riley Burress, who's Kandi Burruss' daughter, didn't want castmate Georgia McCann, who is an NYC event planner, to touch her after she didn't do this. Check it out.
I don't really believe in that. I'm pro-germ.
I don't know if it's
What?
or not.
I'm dead ass.
So you don't wash your hands?
No, I was like the kid in New York City eating candy off the sidewalk.
I think
no.
Georgia is very interesting.
Should we all go back in?
Yeah.
I like your nails.
Oh, thank you.
I need a new manicure like ASAP.
I would hold your hands, but you didn't wash them, so.
I have no allergies. I never get the flu. I might be crazy, but I really think it's because as a kid growing up, I had no sense of germs, and it was like, touch worms, touch your mouth.
Yeah, your body definitely has had to adjust.
Germs kind of grow your microbiome. This is not me making this up. This is like scientifically proven. Germs are good.
I was like, you didn't wash your hands. I should have kind of like, I don't really believe.
No, she didn't. No, she didn't. No, she didn't. No, she didn't.
Because that's insane.
Oh God, I hope she can get pink eye. If this is wrong, but I was raised to not wash your hands.
I could not give less of a whether Georgia washes her hands or sticks them in mud. I mean, I don't wash my hands after I piss every time. Like, my dick is perfectly clean. I don't need to, like, go scrub my, like...
Bye, it was so nice meeting you. Can I see you guys again? Yes, for sure.
See, okay.
I'm with it.
That's crazy. She's like, bye. You're like,
Girl, I literally met you tonight. You're telling me what to do with like my body that has nothing to do with you.
You tried to touch me. Yeah,
you can do anything you want with your body.
Exactly.
But when it touches my body.
problem.
I would have definitely, no, don't touch. Like, I can pick up a piece of trash off the floor. I'm washing my hands. Like, wash your hands. That is the way you prevent germs. I was raised not to wash my hands.
And these are the people who are usually always the first to dig their funky hands in a bucket of popcorn.
Chips.
Yeah.
Or want to touch your face.
Oh, don't do that.
Two things. This is why we shouldn't have shows that are about the nepotism of reality stars. Like now
Absolutely.
reality stars kids got shows. She had me for half a second where she was like, oh, I was playing outside when I was a kid and whatnot. I played outside in the woods with a kid. I surely, when I was a kid, held a worm at one point and 10 minutes
Correct.
later was eating a sandwich. I'm sure of that. And sure, like a little exposure is good for you, but out of the bathroom?
And you did that as a kid. You're an adult now. You know better.
Just
But
common
mysteriously
decency.
enough, she might be a walking vaccine. Like,
She could be.
her blood may be the cure.
Yeah.
At this point.
Could be.
Shout out to The Last of Us.
All right.
After the break,
yeah,
we go
go
get
for
to
it.
know our friend right here sitting in the middle,
Hey.
Markisha. And plus, GQ Mag says it might be better to be famous in your 50s. And the director reveals what movie set had all the actors coked up. We'll tell you about that in 2.
I was a quarterback at Hardaway High School. College first-round draft pick during the football season, I would stop eating. But I didn't know I was depressed. We didn't have any education behind what mental health was. I started to learn it starts here first. If this is together, I'll be better as a father and as a husband. We have to redefine what being a strong man is and heal, love your mind.
Ready to lose track of time the best way possible?
rolling!
From the funniest videos to the wildest things online, we do the scrolling so you don't have to.
It's Usher. He had that synthetic hair melting. You hear me?
Why y'all talking about that lady hair like that?
Ain't he alone?
Catch us every weeknight, 7 p.m. Central on Fox Soul.
Louder for the people in the back.
Well, on Fox Face Off, we tell the raw, unadulterated truth.
Fox Soul Face Off
We are given the platform here with no fear.
always comes out swinging.
We should be saying, hey, stop shooting and killing people.
Nothing held back.
They wanted black hip-hop moguls and artists to continue the feud.
No punches pulled.
And shut the hell up. You interrupt me all the time.
Tune into the show where opinions collide. Fox Soul Face Off. New episodes weeknights at 9 or stream anytime on Fox Soul.
As we work to get through these times together, You may not be thinking about blood donation, but blood is needed to save the lives of people who are sick with a range of illnesses. It's easy and safe to give. If you are in good health, please donate. We need heroes now. Visit redcrossblood.org to schedule an appointment.
Welcome back. Hey. All right, now, Markisha, let's get to know you a little better, shall we?
Yes,
now,
yes.
you started off behind the scenes working in production as a producer and a production manager.
Yes.
And what skills from those jobs have prepared you the most for being in front of the camera on your Monday Mayhem podcast?
Yes. I feel like just knowing the different ins and outs of different areas, you know, knowing what to look for as far as lighting and what to look for as far as sound and things of that nature. And, you know, knowing what my target is and what I'm going for. So, oh, look at that.
Hey,
that's me. Yeah, and just, you know, enjoying it and having fun and trying something new and being confident in it and building up that skill. So, yeah, I would just say every area has basically prepared me for being great here with you two handsome individuals.
Yeah, there's no negative learning. I think it's so, Markisha, I think it's so valuable when people like work behind the scenes and then wind up working in front of the camera.
Absolutely.
Sometimes folks don't have any of that background, and sometimes they don't have respect for the people who came up through that way, and so that's a whole other thing. How's the podcast going, and what is next for you?
I am actually surprised on my 13th episode, so congratulations to me, because I didn't even know I've been doing it that long.
There we go.
But I'm also in the process of editing a pilot that I have been working on that is a reality show. Yeah, and just trying my hands at different things, hosting, producing other projects and stuff like that. So I'm excited to see where my creativity opens up the roads for me.
Very cool.
Well, excited to watch the journey unfold in real time, yo. Because I remember when you first came on, I think it was like on episode 2 or 3 or something like that.
No,
So, like,
yes.
consistency is key, yo.
That part.
Okay, here we go. GQ, Gentleman Quarterly, shared an article that says we're living in the golden age of newly famous 50-something stars like Walton Goggins, Coleman Domingo, and Pedro Pascal. Those are all guys who, you know, they weren't really famous in their 20s or 30s. They seem to be enjoying their fame with great roles, magazine covers, and it seems like less pressure than some of the younger stars like our Timothy Chalamets or our Austin Butlers, because these are the guys who've paid their dues and they've proven themselves, right, over a long period of time. So do you think it's better to be famous later in life versus younger?
I think sometimes God give you what you're supposed to have when you're supposed to have it.
Exactly.
Maybe you weren't wired properly enough to be that famous that young, because then you would have been burnt out of here. You'd have died in the Viper Room. You know what I'm saying?
yes.
You know, like all types of things, you know, and it's dope to, I think it gives people hope who feel like, oh, it's too late for me.
Correct.
Like, yo, Pedro Pascal out here being like the multiversal Burt Reynolds.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Swear,
Like the Latino Burt Reynolds, and he just came out of nowhere and was doing all the roles, and I love that for him because he's a late in the game combatant.
Nah, for real. I definitely feel like you said, it's about your mindset and then about the team that you have around you, because you can kind of compare, like Samuel L. Jackson didn't have his first role until he was like 42. Then you have Zendaya, who's poised, and then you have like the pre-Lindsay Lohans before she is now. Oh, honey, whatever you're doing, you look amazing. Britney Spears, you know what I mean? So I think it's just about your mindset, the team you have around you that help you stay grounded to be able to handle the pressures of being famous. So, you know.
The other thing too that's so interesting, and sometimes I think about this, because there's a handful of stars who didn't get huge until later in life. Morgan Freeman's one of them. Like, he'd been working for a very long time, but he didn't really become Morgan Freeman until like his 50s and 60s. And the same thing for John Malkovich. He's one of those guys who, like, his career didn't really pop until later. But you also got to think, it's like, those are people who never gave up.
Exactly.
And like, those are people whose like skill set it was that high the whole time, and eventually the rest of the industry and the rest of the opportunities caught up.
Correct.
And so there is so many people who probably have that same level of skill, or maybe they don't have any skill at all, but they give up and they quit.
Correct. It is definitely consistency in figuring out how to take that chance on yourself. Don't give up and show your talent in other ways. A lot of times you got to make people come to you versus waiting for them to come. You know what I mean?
Right.
So it's like, yeah, the opportunities caught up and they've always been great. So it's like, showcase your talent with all of the social medias and YouTubes. Like, go out and show your greatness and stop picking the same people. Branch out, give people a chance. You never know, and you'll find your Coleman Domingos. You know what I mean? So it's just like, hey, open up the doors a little bit. But yeah, and
now,
stay persistent.
Coleman Brian came in guns blazing and that stayed persistent bag. Walton Goggins, a guy who I wasn't really hip to until The Shield. I don't know if you ever watched that show. It was like one of FX's first big shows. And what he did on The Shield was so drastically different than anything he is known for now.
Exactly.
Because it was like a serious and stressful show. And to see him go from that to be like Uncle Baby Billy or
No, seriously.
and a White Lotus and get all his love. Like, he's that guy, man. He didn't give up and he stayed persistent and he showed people something different every time he came out.
Absolutely, absolutely. They're diverse. They give you a flavor. You know, they can take it as high as they need to and take it as low as they need to. It's not, you're not feeling like, oh, well, this is like the same character they played in such and such. You know what I mean? You do have some actors and actresses who do that. You're like, this kind of looks familiar.
I literally, I'm just going to try to get this in quick. I literally watched a video earlier today, and it's Pedro Pascal talking about how he got the role on Game of Thrones, and he was actually working as an acting coach for this younger guy, and he was helping that younger guy with the audition, and he was looking at the sides, and he was like, it's such a good role, blah, 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 blah. And it was written for a guy who's like 25, and Pedro was much older than that at that point in time. So he calls his manager, tells him about his role. He's able to get the audition. He then takes his tape, sends it to Sarah Paulson, who's like best friends with one of the creators of Game of Thrones, and that's how it kind of came in through. And so like 2 days later, he got the phone call and he had the role. And then that took him on a whole other level, you know.
So I had no idea that was the role that broke him.
You got to always advocate for yourself.
That's right.
Ask. The most they can tell you is no.
Right.
But during a Q&A for his new book, Who Knew?, Barry Dillard casually dropped some tea to Anderson Cooper about Robert Altman's 1980s film Popeye, starring Robin Williams. Let's take a look.
Most coked up film set.
Coked up film set?
Oh, wow.
Oh, Popeye. No, you can watch. By the way, you can watch it. If you watch Popeye, you're watching a movie that you think of it in you know, the thing they used to do about record speeds, 33, whatever. This is a movie that runs at 78 RPM and 33 speed. It is a coke.
You visited the set, and
I did,
and you would instantly knew everybody's coked up.
You knew it. You couldn't escape it. They were actually shipping in film cans at the time. That film cans would be sent back to LA for daily processing the film. This was shot in Malta. And we found out that the film cans were actually being used to ship cocaine back and forth to this set.
Wow.
Oh.
Everyone was stoned.
One way to finance the film.
Listen, okay, keep the party going at all times.
That makes sense because Popeye does roll around like this a lot.
Yo, but when I think about like the characters, like Popeye was the only one who was kind of slightly turned. And if you know anything about Robin Williams, he definitely knows what cocaine smells like.
Absolutely. Rest his soul.
And Brutus was all quiet, and Shelley Duvall, like she looked too skinny to be on cocaine. But I don't know anything about cocaine apparently.
Listen, it's the party drug, you know. Keep them up. It's the upper. I heard, you know.
I would watch a whole movie though about the sending of drugs back and forth in the film canisters to Popeye. Because imagine like somebody in LA, maybe they're part of some gang, it's some drug dealer somewhere, or maybe they're on the back lot and they're like stuffing it into the film cans and mailing it across the ocean.
Like, hey, how many you need? Yeah. Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, we're gonna put it in the canisters for you. Yeah, that's definitely interesting. What else do you think they sent in those canisters?
I mean,
anything.
Weed,
pills,
paraphernalia.
Angel dust.
Whatever fits in the canisters. It would have been so cool, like in like the final season of Snowfall, like if that was like a subplot. Like, yo, they making some movie with Robert Williams. Oh, we'll get it to him.
For real.
I love movies about movies.
Absolutely. So would you rewatch the movie though from a different lens, knowing that tidbit of information now? And start pointing out people like, oh yeah, they definitely look like they was on it.
100%. I watched that movie one time just because like, let me go ahead and watch it. And it is wild. Robin Williams, he always went 100 miles an hour.
Oh, absolutely.
So it's like hard to tell a little bit, but now I want to go back and like really pay attention to everyone's upper lip.
No, for real. Or their eyes.
Yeah.
That kind of explains why Wimpy always needed to gladly pay somebody Tuesday for something.
Yeah. I will gladly pay you Tuesday for a burger today.
I don't got it right now.
Okay. I gotta pay you Tuesday for a table dance today.
Hilarious.
Man, you remember a few years ago when Tiffany Haddish and Aries Spears were being sued by Tiffany's ex-friend Teresa Morris for defamation, claiming the comedians had used her children in inappropriate comedy sketches? Well, a LA judge signed off on a 6-figure judgment being awarded to Tiffany in the amount of $111,000, round it up. Now, if Teresa doesn't pay the judgment, the debt will continue to grow at the rate of $30.46 per day until the full amount is paid off. And Aries was also awarded an additional $62,394 in his judgment against Teresa, and that's going to grow every day by $17.09 until it's settled.
Wow.
That's a wild interest rate.
Exactly.
Wow.
And how did you come up with that? Did you take like the amount and divide it by 30 days of the month? Like, where did that?
Somebody did some math.
Swear.
Yeah. Somebody did some math on it. This vindicates Tiffany and Aries, though, I would imagine.
Yeah. Sounds like it.
I mean,
either that or they had better lawyers than the other people, because sometimes that's just the answer.
Exactly. There are definitely better lawyers out there, and yeah. How is she going to pay that, though? Like, what's her time frame?
That's my thing is, $111,000 out of nowhere is a lot. Plus, it's going up. Wait, it's not just 111 because it's 69,000 for Aries, right?
Yeah. So
what are we talking about? 180,000?
Yeah.
Plus $30 a day or $17 a day if you don't pay.
Plus 40-something, $50 a day?
Assuming they have a house, they're going to have to probably borrow some of the equity.
Right. So my whole thing is, did she really win? Because if you don't get paid, you just won a case. What did she have that you're able to take?
She's the woman with the kids, right?
Yeah. Correct.
That makes, even with them being winners, it almost still kind of low-key makes them villains.
Yeah.
Because that's one of them situations where, and I imagine these allegations probably did cost them a few opportunities along the way, right? So there is a price tag attached to that, but I think sometimes a really strong apology publicly would suffice in a situation where you know you possibly robbing some children of a future, but they wasn't thinking about your well-being when they threw those claims out there. But
I mean,
it's hard. Yeah, it's hard enough to raise a kid. Kids are expensive. 2 kids, you know what I'm saying? And to like hit a mother with a bill for $180,000 that's going up by $50 a day.
Correct. It's kind of a little over the top, because it's like, 1, where's she going to get it from? 2, it's like, did y'all really lose out on opportunities, or is it the actions of your own, like DUIs and stuff?
Right.
You know what I mean? So I'm just saying, it's just kind of like, where's the common ground? Where's the mediation? Because that's steep. What's she going to give? Her 2 kids?
I mean, maybe she has a nice car, decent wardrobe. Let's use your air fryer.
No, for real.
Yeah.
Deep fryer.
Yeah.
Some chicken.
$25,000 to $30,000.
I wonder what's the time frame to pay it back. Like, when does she have to make like the first installment?
Wow. Yeah. Like these same rates are the ones that like the Discover card has.
Like 29.48%.
Like the meter is running.
All right. Well, while we talk about how glad we are not to be stuck in that deal, we're going to be back in 2 minutes with a photo shoot Friday, flick pics, and so much more. We'll see y'all in 2.
As we work to get through these times together, you may not be thinking about blood donation, but blood is needed to save the lives of people who are sick with a range of illnesses. It's easy and safe to give. If you are in good health, please donate. We need heroes now. Visit redcrossblood.org to schedule an appointment.
What do you think you're doing, Kevin?
Was just gonna drive home.
There are several warning signs present that you shouldn't be driving.
Like hearing voices?
Like your text-to-emoji ratio?
Oh man, the selfies.
Selfie. Nailed it. We all have warning signs that let us know that we're probably not okay to drive. Mine is pretending to be your subconscious.
Craig, come on man, let's split a ride home.
Ready to lose track of time the best way possible?
Rolling!
From the funniest videos to the wildest things online, we do the scrolling so you don't have to.
It's Usher. He had that synthetic hair melting. You hear me? Why y'all talking about that lady hair like that? Ain't he alone?
Catch us every weeknight, 7 p.m. Central on Fox Soul.
Louder for the people in the back.
I was a quarterback at Hardaway High School. College first-round draft pick. During the football season, I would stop eating. But I didn't know I was depressed. We didn't have any education behind what mental health was. I started to learn it starts here first. If this is together, I'll be better as a father and as a husband. We have to redefine what being a strong man is and heal, love your mind.
what's up, guys? Welcome back. It's Friday, so it's time for Photo Shoot Friday. Okay, we're gonna kick it off with the gorge Gabrielle Union, who's aging. Gosh, good gosh, guys. She's aging backwards on Marie Claire's 2025 motherhood issue. Look at her there.
Flawless.
Yeah, listen.
Yeah.
You think she could still be in Bring It On right now?
Yeah. Yeah, that's what's so crazy.
Black don't crack.
It sure does not.
She could play like a senior that been going there for like 3 years, and we wouldn't really even like bat an eye.
No,
scratch
for
her
real.
head, like
She like a Lynn Whitfield.
Oh yeah.
Like you were like, how old are you? Anyway, up next we have Hollywood heartthrob and Sinners star, aka my husband to be, Michael the B. Jordan, looking like the boss that he is on the New York Magazine's Hollywood issue. Look at that gorgeous specimen.
Markisha, how do you like the cut of that suit? Are
That
those slacks too big, though?
Babalawo.
He's rocking a big suit like Michael A. Jordan.
Right. Yeah.
Michael A. Jordan.
Because yo, regular Jordan be rocking them big, like oversized suits. Like, you got
back
too
in
much
like
money, bro.
1992.
Yeah.
I would like them more tailored or more hemmed up a little bit, but at the bottom. But I don't mind the wide leg pants, you know. And it's about the energy that you're having in that outfit.
Oh.
I'm sorry. I'm focused now. Focused.
Dialed in.
Yo, man, he's doing his thing, man. Next up, we got gold medal Olympian and gymnast Jordan Childs sticking the landing on Sports Illustrated's 2025 swimsuit edition. She cooking them rocks. Okay, come on,
there we go.
flexibility.
Listen, honey.
She just walked the runway. Why didn't we were talking about her a couple days ago? She did the runway. She did the front flip with the cowboy hat.
Oh, listen.
I'll tumble for you.
No, okay. I'll do a headstand. Yeah, listen.
Crush it.
Beautiful part of art. Beautiful part of art. I admire all forms of beauty.
Absolutely. Who do we have next? Okay, last but not least, we've got Emmy, Grammy, and Tony Award-winning actress and singer Cynthia Erivo giving us sultry vibes on the cover of Billboard Pride's 2025 issue.
Okay.
A Force for Good.
All right.
See, that's a play on her being the evil witch.
I know, from Wicked. Yeah. Okay, I like the dress.
It's a very nice dress. I like the lace and everything. She knows how to work an outfit.
Absolutely, like all the way.
Yeah, she takes the shape of whatever outfit like she goes into.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
She molds into the dresses.
Yeah. Right now she's in the middle of that like 30 character one person Broadway show, right?
No.
Isn't that what she was doing? Dracula. She's every character in Dracula right now.
Wow.
Every single one.
How do you shut
22
your
characters
mind
are
down
me.
at the end of the day?
Yeah.
Having to entertain all those voices, all those characters, all those ideas. It's such a wicked talent for somebody to have.
Oh, yeah. Well, when you put it like that, I mean, it's kind of easy because I'm like, I do that all the time, but we're not going to say that too loud.
Oh.
Anyway, all right, y'all. Who had the best celebrity photo shoot, though? I mean, we already know who I'm going to go for, but, you know, who do you gentlemen?
Michael the
boss.
Okay.
Jordan's husband there.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I'm gonna represent for the other Jordan Childs, Jordan on the rocks.
Okay.
Jordan on the rocks.
On the rocks.
Yeah,
Okay.
rocks, yeah.
Get that square ice cube. Okay. Okay. I like
rock
it.
is lucky.
Well, at that point, I gotta show some love to Cynthia. Like, I feel like she's going through, like, honestly, guys, I mean, did you know who Cynthia Erivo was 5 years ago?
Yeah, she did Harriet Tubman.
I know that, but it's like, you know, she's not, now she's like, she's got Wicked, and she's got Broadway, and she's on the cover of Billboard. And
Like
so
she's
it's
leveled up in her career.
She's like becoming, she's an A-list star.
Yeah. So then that would kind of go back to our discussion earlier. Like she, you know, kind of started later in life, and now it's like, but wasn't she a singer before? She started acting and all of that? Like, that's her background.
She came in as this wild multi-hyphenate who was able to do everything that the camera asked her to do. So, like, you know, like she checked so many boxes, occupied so many spaces.
Absolutely.
You know, they always talk about that EGOT conversation. We may have to add another letter at the end of what she does when it's all said and done. Like EGOT, like she gonna win a Nickelodeon Teen Choice Award too. Like, fucking wicked, you know?
Yeah, that's so funny.
Definitely
she's gonna get a Peabody, and then we got a P-GOT, you know?
No,
Like,
swear.
what are we doing?
Country album, all of that. Be like, okay.
Well, with it being Friday, man, we gonna keep that same Friday energy with a flick pick. Now, if you're headed to theaters this weekend, you might want to check out Ballerina. It's not the prequel to Black Swan. It's the fifth installment to the John Wick franchise, starring Ana de Armas, Keanu Reeves, Walking Dead legend Norman Reedus, and the late Lance Reddick. Let's take a look, y'all.
When you think of me, you should think of fire.
I know you. I know your pain.
This isn't done until they're dead.
Buena suerte, señorita.
When you think of me, you should think of fire.
Those people that you're looking for, they're surrounding this hotel right now.
Risen from the ashes, again and again.
You don't choose to be a killer. You are chosen.
No, I chose this!
Consequences.
Risen from the ashes, again and again.
And what, may I ask, is your name?
When you think of me, you should think of fire.
Ooh.
Well, all right.
Man.
I'm gonna go get my tickets. I'm gonna see that tonight.
Yeah, the way that you're marrying Michael B. Jordan is the same way that I'm marrying Ana de Armas.
Hey, there we go.
Let's go.
There we
also,
go.
This is full of people I like. Norman Reedus, Lance Reddick, Keanu.
Who's not talking very much like he hasn't in the other John Wick.
He's got that same number of lines.
Exactly. Don't mess with that man's dog.
And I didn't see John Wick 4, but some things have been spoiled for me. So I feel like I could watch this and then watch John Wick 4.
And still get it.
Be okay.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Super cool. Okay. All right, we're moving on. And that's not all. If you're an Adam Sandler fan, then you've probably seen the trailer for Happy Gilmore 2, which streams on Netflix on July 25th. But if you haven't, check this out.
Happy Gilmore is breaking in yet another caddy he just met.
All right, we're gonna go. See, but you bring those. Those always.
Wait, that's Bad Bunny.
Yeah.
All right, that's it. They got a strap if you want to use the strap.
Happy Gilmore didn't have things flowing on the first though.
Check out the name tag, grandson. You're in my world now.
Got you a little something there, Pop. Everyone is talking about the comeback kid.
Happy Gilmore.
Happy Gilmore. Happy Gilmore.
You've been watching me play Mr. Gilmore. So inspiring.
My dad loved you, man.
So sorry.
Give him here. I got some Gorilla Glue.
Remember the happy place I went to?
You go to yours.
Oh my God, Rory!
Jackass. Bingo.
You stole my life from me.
Why would I want to steal the life of somebody who eats pieces of for breakfast?
Yes.
What? I'm gonna go see that too.
Wow.
You gotta leave the crib, man.
Yeah, you got to crash on the couch and get that one in.
Yo, man. And that lineup was so stellar, right?
Right.
The only sweetest kiss it was missing. And I love that they got Lavelle Crawford in there playing.
Yes.
But if they had Michael B. Jordan playing Chubbs' son, the poet, because like he played the son of a dead Carl Weathers in Creed, and to double up and do it on Happy Gilmore, that'd have been wild.
Hilarious.
Listen,
Great movie.
Travis Kelce in there. I like him too.
It's almost gonna be I know Eminem's in there as well, which is
word?
crazy. He's in the bowler hat. He's like the one who faces off with him there.
I didn't even peep that. He was a deep disguise.
A lot going on. Okay, we got to take another quick break. But when we come back, we got celebrity birthdays and so much more. We'll see you guys in 2 minutes.
Ready to lose track of time the best way possible?
Rolling!
From the funniest videos to the wildest things online, we do the scrolling so you don't have to.
It's Usher. He had that synthetic hair melting. You hear me? Why y'all talking about that lady hair like that? Ain't he alone?
Catch us every weeknight, 7 p.m. Central on Fox Soul.
Louder for the people in the back.
I wonder if you know that I want the best for you. But how long will you fight solo? I wonder if you know that we can get help. not wondering anymore. Love, your mind.
I'm Isaiah Carey, here to shake things up with the stories that hit hard and matter most. Here on The Factor, we cover news with grit and authenticity. We challenge the status quo and get down to real talk and bold discussions. Join us as we amplify the voices that disrupt, inspire, and lead the charge for change. Your story is power, and we're here to unleash it.
The Isaiah Factor Uncensored. New episodes weeknights at 10 or stream anytime on Fox Soul.
As we work to get through these times together, you may not be thinking about blood donation, but blood is needed to save the lives of people who are sick with a range of illnesses. It's easy and safe to give. If you are in good health, please donate. We need heroes now. Visit redcrossblood.org to schedule an appointment.
Welcome back, guys. Hey, you know what? If you're celebrating a birthday today, you're in some seriously star-studded company. First up, from Sideways to Billions to his recent Oscar nod for The Holdovers, here's proof that a little chaos and a lot of talent go a long way. Another guy we were just talking about. Cheers, Paul. Hope there's Pinot Noir on that cake. Paul Giamatti hits 58 years old.
Okay, wow. We also got the Chicago rapper, activist, and global do-gooder who isn't just dropping tracks, but he's building schools in Ghana and dropping knowledge. Happy birthday to Vic Mensa, the only guy who could freestyle and philanthropize in the same breath. He turns 32 today.
Best known as Lucius Malfoy, he's been busy casting spells of brilliance from the great Lillian Hall to the White Lotus and beyond, wand-waving to world stage wowing. Jason Isaac celebrates 62.
You got producer Hitmaker Style Blueprint and half of the Jam and Lewis Powerhouse. Without him, Janet Jackson's greatest hits might still be writing themselves. So respect to the beat architect Jimmy Jam, who turned 66.
Oh my gosh, and last but not least, we're still going. She's got Broadway belts, Netflix nail-ons, and red carpet royalty energy. Emily in Paris, Mean Girls, joyous iconery, beef, her birthday wish, probably a nap. Miss Ashley Park turns 34.
Woo!
Okay.
Wow. This is a stacked lineup.
This is a stacked.
No, for real.
A bunch of people who are great for different reasons.
Yeah.
Who you rocking with, Markisha?
I think I'm going to go with Vic Mensa.
Yeah.
I like how his growth and his elevation and stuff like that, building schools in Ghana, and his conversations, like in some of his interviews, he's definitely very smart, very intellectual. So I think I'm gonna go with the little young 32-year-old whippersnapper.
I like how people have started caring more about him in the last 2 weeks.
Swear.
Because he's been dope to me the entire time, and I just didn't understand like why it didn't still catch fire. And I also could look at someone and tell if they've been on an ayahuasca retreat, and then I found out that he did. And it's like, yeah.
Which is a revelation.
We know our own. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
And that's why he's moving different. And man, it's a helpful
that
tool,
expansion, that growth, that just broader view of things. So yeah.
I love that for him. Who you got, man?
I got to throw it out to Jason Isaacs. I got to interview him at Sundance many moons ago, and you just never know what you're going to get when you're approaching somebody who's been a movie star for a number of years, perhaps almost your whole life. And he was just like the most down to earth, easy to talk to, like talk to me like I was like a friend of his for years. And anytime somebody brings that energy, I just always remember it and respect it. So I throw it out to Jason Isaacs.
How you should be, because at the end of the day, they're still people.
Yeah,
they're still people.
Just a person.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna run it up for Jimmy Jam. Because, like, those songs, you know,
listen,
got you in life, you know what I'm saying? They still hit
Miss
to this
Jackson,
day.
if you nasty,
Like,
you know.
He turned those whispers into songs.
Swear.
Because, like, she was on there speaking real lowercase.
That part.
Yeah.
Still speaking real lowercase.
Like, just,
right. Say it again. Yep, there we go.
And he added music on top of that.
Exactly. Right. Up the vocals a little bit higher, turn the levels up, you know. Absolutely.
Well, while y'all celebrate y'all favorite people in the comment, man, we got to run the break. But when we come back in 2 minutes, we got everybody's favorite game. Whose cousin is it?
Ready to lose track of time the best way possible?
Rolling!
From the funniest videos to the wildest things online, we do the scrolling so you don't have to.
It's Usher. He had that synthetic hair melting. You hear me? Why y'all talking about that lady hair like that? Ain't he alone?
Catch us every weeknight, 7 p.m. Central on Fox Soul.
Louder for the people in the back.
What do you think you're doing, Kevin?
Was just gonna drive home.
There are several warning signs present that you shouldn't be driving.
Like hearing voices?
Like your text-to-emoji ratio?
Oh man, the selfies.
Selfie nailed it. We all have warning signs that let us know that we're probably not okay to drive. Mine is pretending to be your subconscious.
Craig, come on, man, let's put a ride home.
I was a quarterback at Hardaway High School. College first-round draft pick during the football season, I would stop eating. But I didn't know I was depressed. We didn't have any education behind what mental health was. I started to learn it starts here first. If this is together, I'll be better as a father and as a husband. We have to redefine what being a strong man is and heal, love your mind.
Well, on Fox Face Off, we tell the raw, unadulterated truth.
Fox Soul Face Off.
We are given the platform here with no fear.
Always comes out swinging.
We should be saying, hey, stop shooting and killing people.
Nothing held back.
They wanted black hip-hop moguls and artists to continue the feud.
No punches pulled.
And shut the hell up. You interrupt me all the time.
Tune into the show where opinions collide. Fox Soul Face Off. New episodes weeknights at 9 or stream anytime on Fox Soul.
Welcome back. Hey, it's time for everybody's favorite game. Whose cousin is it? Okay, Markisha, you're seasoned pro here. You know how this goes.
Yep.
Okay,
I'm ready.
Here we go. Think Den of Thieves, but make it fashion. So a whole crew of sticky-fingered fashionistas hit up the Mall of Georgia over Memorial Weekend, and while they walked in looking for some drip, they walked out with some criminal charges to match their day party fits.
Must have been an all-orange jumpsuit day party. So all the cops, the Mall of Georgia retailers and everything, they linked up for a 2-day shoplifting sting to snag the band of bad and bougie boosters and recovered over $5,313.75 in stolen merch. Ooh. Was it Gwinnett County Fashion Week?
Okay, and get this, 2 of the clothes-napping culprits had 12 active warrants between them. What? 12. One of them even skipped court on a RICO charge. The shoplifting squad was booked and hit with multiple felonies and misdemeanors. Ooh-wee.
Oh.
I don't even really have to ask. I feel like I might have taken a selfie with these people.
Exactly. I'm like, HK, that's our cousins. That's our cousins. Day party fits. That gave it away. A day party? Yeah. Seriously? Then you say Mall of Georgia. Come on now. Like, and then 12 active warrants amongst all of them?
Yeah. Because we would go outside with active warrants, like the warrants aren't active.
At all.
Yeah.
Like, and then you're going with active warrants, committing another crime. That's the audacity for me, you know, because, I mean, we going to pump our chest out because they got to look good at the day party. They going to take that chance and get another charge.
Yeah, I'm going to say that these suspects are the color of cavities.
Yeah.
Not the color of cavities.
Cavity cousin.
Oh,
I think they're more side on our spectrum than yours.
What if all of the clothes, would it change the story if all of the clothes were stolen from The Gap?
Nah, we steal from there too.
Yeah, I'm about to say, because The Gap has some nice stuff.
All
So,
right.
yeah, no. Especially the sandals and the flip-flops.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Right.
They get hit too.
Very snatchable.
Very snatchable.
Absolutely.
I
Yeah.
wish we
Even
had
though
a
we
rainbow.
don't know where the clothes came from.
I'm
but
just trying to think of like the widest stores in the mall.
No, that's where we usually hit the hardest.
Yeah.
Nah, seriously. I'm like,
Yeah.
even the Macy's would get hit. Yeah.
Yo,
like,
shout to the low lifes.
This could be my cousin. Like, my cousins get hit with RICOs from time to time.
time to time.
Yeah.
With 12 active warrants amongst all of them.
I don't know.
Yeah, it's okay. We'll adopt you. But I think this is our family.
But here's the thing: is okay. What you need to know, Markisha, is that HK and I've been messing up a lot.
Yeah, we've been strong and wrong.
We've
What
been
y'all been
strong and wrong
doing?
a lot recently.
Yeah, we'll mess
Okay,
around.
I'll help y'all.
We'll mess around and this will be Amish people.
Yeah.
Hey, you know, they live off the grid, so I'm with that.
I'm gonna jump out here and say my cousin, just because we have been wrong so much.
Okay. I feel like we got the Scrabble board covered. There is no
okay.
other, but I feel strong because, you know, Georgia, very minimal other here.
Absolutely.
Not a lot of other. Not a lot of other in Georgia.
You can put them in a soccer field.
Swear.
And they are. That's where,
now we know where you
And
all
they probably
are.
took a picture of the outfit and posted it too.
Oh,
All right, well, as we always do at this time,
move that van. Oh, yo! Wait, they're
I
gone.
like the mix there.
6,
What's Paw
7,
doing in there?
7
But what
out
is
of
what girl
15.
is she got clown makeup?
7 out of 15. One of the, well, actually, we're gonna round that one in the lower left-hand corner in the us. She's with us. So yeah, 8. I don't even know why I'm so excited to make it be more of us than them. But yeah, I think we had them outnumbered 8-7.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But you know what? I definitely kind of thought, I was like, what if it's just a mixture of people and it's just totally different? And that's what we got.
Can you show the photos again? This looked like the entire cast of Guess Who.
Yeah. I just want to, yeah.
How do these people meet?
No,
For me, it's the
swear.
guy in the middle, that center square.
The old guy?
What's
He's
he
the
doing?
ringleader.
He probably worked at the mall.
And I feel like he's another.
I just want to say, you know what makes me happy?
What?
Unity.
I was about to say that you had some family members in there.
Yeah,
We could come together.
People working together for a cause.
Yeah, they met at Shaky Knees. Y'all have a great weekend, man. We're going to catch y'all on
Peace
Monday.
out,
Guys,
people.
later. Bye. You know, team.
Hey! We made it! What's up? Welcome to Scrolling with Jen and V. It is our golden episode. Woohoo! We made it to 50 episodes. Thanks to you guys for getting us to 50 episodes.
Yes, especially
yes,
them.
and we are
Especially
here
them.
in gold. We are decked out,
You know, we
dripped
tried
out
to,
in gold.
Tried to put a little gold
Yes,
swag on
to celebrate.
today.
Yes,
You're
we're
looking good.
Thank you. You're looking good too, boo.
Thank you, B.
We wanted to be looking good
Thank
for
you, B.
y'all, because if it wasn't for y'all, we wouldn't be
be
in these
here.
seats.
We
You